Well, it is 4 p.m. on the third Sunday of the month. That means it must be time for ShoVal and More Book Club gathering. And I want to welcome everybody who is with us and those of you who may see this later on. This is going to be a good discussion, a good time, and whenever we're together, we know that the sisters are together. It's going to be some good stuff going on. Absolutely. I'm welcoming. We got Quintina's with us, the Gold Rush sister there, and we got Gold Rush sister Ms. Versi. And we got Gold Rush Sister Pamela Murphy about to join us, and others may join us. We're not on Facebook today, and that's my fault. My hands raised. I apologize. But we will be on YouTube because this is being recorded and it'll be on YouTube. So I just don't know what to say that it's going to be when you listen to it, hopefully you will enjoy it. We are going to be talking about really, it's an interesting book. It's a simple book. I don't know what to say. It seems so simple, yet the advice in it, the nuggets in it are so profound. At least that's how I found it. The title is Presence and Potential: Experience Your Higher Self and Live in Wholeness. Presence, and that's with a CE, presence and potential. Experience your higher self and live in wholeness. And it's by Reverend Dr. Martha Creek. Now, I met Martha a few months ago, a wonderful woman. Martha has an accent it's kind of a country accent. And when you read the book, if you've listened to it on Audible, you'll hear her accent. I want to mention that she is a loving woman, just wonderful. And I have had a joy. I've read her book twice. I've listened to it on Audible. And every time there is more stuff that you can take away just to help you live what I call just a good life, a good life. She lays it out, and what's so interesting, she doesn't suggest anything is magical or anything is quote unquote necessarily easy, but she doesn't make it hard either. And so we're going to talk about Quintina and Versi. I don't know if Pamela's going to be joining us to talk about any particular chapter, but it's an interesting way she has written it. It's a very simplistic approach. I just want to introduce her book in the sense that it is, well, I just got some pointers. She talks about presence with the CE leads to awareness, leads to choice, leads to your potential. When I become present, I become aware. When I become aware, I have the power to choose rather than react. Big discussion about reacting. And when I choose consciously, I open myself to my divine potential. That is how chapter one is introduced to us. It really is a powerful foundation for understanding the book and understanding yourself. This book talks about who am I when I am no longer being defined by my reactions? Who am I when I'm no longer being defined by my reactions? Those kinds of questions just make you wonder, oh my goodness, what is going on? But I'm gonna kick off. We got some chapters to do. Oh, Janice is joining us. Go Rush team member Janice. Hey, Janice.
Hey! I was trying to dull myself because the air show has started back up. So I'm gonna put myself on because it's very loud.
I know, I know. Well, we're glad to see you. And if you want to join in, Quintina and Versi and I are going to be doing some chapters. If you have any particular chapter you're interested or any questions, please just join in. And Pam is
Okay.
on. But I'm going to start by like I said, I kind of introduced the book. The book is just a let me see. Let me see. I have something written down. It's centered on learning to recognize and live from the deeper self rather than being driven by your reactive patterns. Okay? And we're gonna go on into I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna try to do any more except talk about. I want to jump into chapter 3 a little bit. Let me get my notes because I gotta tell you, chapter 3, here we are. It's called, her chapters are like 4 pages long. That's a long chapter. And that makes it kind of fun, quite frankly, because you're not stuck in anything. You can
Mhm.
read it and listen to it and read it and still not understand. It's only 4 pages, but that's all right. Chapter 3, the title is Keep a Clear Distinction Between Facts and excuse me, between facts and feelings. Um, that was the way she put it out there. Uh, you be a fact as it's is upon itself does not is not a feeling. It is if somebody says she used the example someone didn't call you back, and if you take that fact just simply, that's one way. If you take that fact and then allow your emotion to start saying that person didn't like me, or I shouldn't have called back because I shouldn't have called her because see I knew she wasn't going to call me back, or maybe any of those things. She says those are not facts. You're feeling, you're allowing your feeling and your your imagination to take one fact and make a whole story about it. I see Jan nodded, Jan, but I said, oh my goodness, it just helps you to. I really, since I've read that book, I've been checking myself. Am
Mhm.
I dealing with facts or am I dealing with my feelings or my imagination or my story about that fact? It is, uh, if someone, as she says, is hollering at me, and I thought about my mother. My mother, love her, I love her, I love her, love her, but she was a hollerer. Oh, yeah. And then what I then had to check because her daughter was kind of a hollerer when she was raising her children. And I started calling, apologizing to my children. It wasn't my fault. Anyway, but hollering, she says, if someone is hollering, that's the fact. But when you start thinking that it has something to do with you and it's just not something that's doing with that person, that's when the fact then becomes your feelings. It was such, I don't know if anybody else has any comments about chapter 3, but it was such a really good chapter for me because I never, I guess you thought about it, but no, I didn't really. Feelings make made up for my imagination often has nothing to do with the
Absolutely.
1, 2, 3 solid facts. And dang,
Absolutely.
how you all can,
I did like that chapter, Reverend Jack. It's about the between facts and feelings
uh-huh,
because I was having an experience. I had text somebody and they never got back to me.
yeah,
And I'm sitting here and I'm creating this story as to why they didn't get back to me. Well, maybe this is happening to me. And when she put in there, she said they didn't get back to you, period.
there, oh, that's it. That was it. Isn't that great? Well, isn't
And
that
when she said
clear?
that, I said, she said, period. They didn't get back to you, period.
Hmm.
Nothing else. Don't create a whole dialogue scene story for the movie. Period.
She said the fact is that the rest of the stuff is your imagination.
Yes.
I just really I found that to be very, very powerful, very useful, ladies, as you're reading, as you're listening to us. That is really very, very useful because oftentimes we're sad, we're angry, we're mad, and ain't nothing going on but our imagination.
And
The
it
fact
worked
has
you
nothing to do with
into
any.
exactly. It worked you into a frazzle. And then you sit back and you think about it. It's like, why was I? Why did I create this issue for myself? And there's so many other things I could be doing, but I've then created something now I got to uncreate it.
There you go. That's exactly right. I tell you, that's a lot about her book. Tells you a lot about her. Um, the next, I was going to jump to chapter 5,
Okay.
and then verse. Is that what you were you going to do? Wait a minute, verse. Were you going to do chapter 5? No, you're doing verse chapter 9, right?
Yeah, I said I would talk about 9 and
Okay.
11.
Okay. Well, chapter 5 says the title is "Do Not Demand or Expect That Others Think, Feel, and Act Like You." I love it. Do not demand or expect that others think, feel, and act like you. And I got to tell you that chapter is 4 pages long, ladies who are listening to
Mhm.
this, who haven't read the book, get the book. Then I'm going to tell you that the chapter 5, she's saying, stop having folks try to act like you. Stop it. She says, because you're creating a source of suffering. Why are you trying to have an expect and demand that people act like you? If you want, she says, if you want less suffering, you can drop the desire for persons they should do what I say, and you can, in doing that, you take back your power, you take back your peace, you take back your growth mindset, and know that what you're doing is fine, but they may have a whole different view or a whole different purpose or a whole different something going on that they won't ever do what you asking or demanding. And guess what? You need to get okay with that and move on to something else. I just again that was another chapter that I thought was very good, and
Yeah,
my
Jan and
husband,
I had a long conversation on that chapter.
who did?
Jan and I had a long conversation on that chapter,
Oh
talking
Lord,
about like what people do, and you think you tell them you want them to do something, and you think they're going to do it exactly the way you tell them, and then they do it the way they believe, the way they think, the way they feel, and then it just makes you upset that they're not doing it the way you want it done. It's not that it's not getting done, but it's not done the way you want it done. So it's like you got to let them work it out their own way, as long as it get the job done. It's got to be a middle road there.
and the thing about it, the only way you get your power back is to move back away from that position.
Yes.
Yep.
Other than that, you're just suffering, and she said you feeling bad,
Hmm.
and why? Your own creation.
Yeah,
Stop
Hmm.
it.
that's the thing.
Yes.
It's your own creation. You
Yeah.
you created that. I think if I don't get anything else from her book, I read actually the end before I
Uh-huh.
finished the last two chapters, but I read the end. If I don't get anything from her book, I got it's all about the person in the mirror. And
Yes.
you make it about somebody else, and it's never about them. You created a story that has no foundation in truth. It's not even a principle. It's your
That's right. Reverend Mary would ask, what principle is that based on? And we have to say, none. Yeah,
Mhm. And you mentioned it this morning in your lesson, Reverend Jackie, when you talked about a comment that Reverend Coleman made.
that's
What
right.
is that? Why are you worried about that?
That's right. What is that to
What
thee?
is that to you? What is that about to you? What you did? And I have found taking care of Jen is 24 hours and overtime,
And
and
and and
still got work to do.
but what I love about it, when I think about it, taking care of Jackie, I got all the power. I got
Yeah.
all the power. Just taking care. I ain't got to worry about nobody else getting the power. I got all the power. So
Oh,
I agree that this book is something.
it was.
Go on, Jan.
No, I came into it with preconceived notions that this is just another one of those self-help books, and you just go and it's gonna tell you what you should do and blah blah blah. But she did not tell you what to do. She told you
No,
what she did.
Right.
right,
And
right.
you can, if this works for you, give it a shot. If it
Yes.
doesn't, keep to the next chapter.
Okay.
That's what I loved about that because she'd say, okay, this is Martha Creek.
Yeah.
Well, what's the answer? This is Martha Creek, and what she was saying for me is You have the answer.
Yeah,
Stop looking at somebody, stop judging somebody. Just look, as you said, Jan, look at the woman in the mirror
yeah.
and talk with her, and you'll
And
have the answer. Yeah. Um, let's see. Quintina, you want to take us on a ride on six?
Yeah, chapter 6, accept differences between people.
Mm-hmm.
And when she started off with the sentence saying, and we are all one, and we are all the same. And when as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's not true. But we are taught to believe that we are all the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that creates a whole lot of judgment. And that just stuck out to me so much, because to equate that with judgment is like, okay, wow, that is what I know I've been doing for a minute, and I've been catching myself
Mm-hmm.
because um just because you know someone and you grew up with someone or you're married to someone, that does not mean that you're going to act the same, that you're going to have the same you're not going to have any of the same things, and it's okay. But we
That's
go,
that's it.
and we, like I said, because of this world that we live in, we try to find fault in people not believing as we do.
Yeah. And it doesn't well, she says accept differences between different people.
People.
mhm.
Right.
Accept that. Accept that. And yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if I got this from the chapter or where. Opposed, affronted, offended. That if the differences come up, we need to accept or go into attack
Yep.
mode.
Yep.
Why? 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 And she essentially says, you know, no. You want to tell us about the crab legs?
Oh, that was funny.
The
Yeah, I
crab
thought that
legs
was
That
was
was
really
hilarious.
fun. That was
I
funny.
mean,
yes.
I know a lot of people, like my children, I don't know where they got it from, and I'm not trying to figure out. All of them love seafood, and they will eat crab legs. I'm like her family. I don't like crab legs, and hopefully you won't eat them around me.
Uh-huh.
But I don't try to stop them because they're different. I've
Yeah.
got 4 different individuals that came through me, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I personally just don't like seafood.
Yeah.
And to be able to back away from what it is you want to tell them what's right, why you should, that's all that's wrong. It's just wrong, 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 wrong.
She says accepting differences allows me to grow up and accept that all of us are on the human spectrum.
Yep.
Wow. I mean,
And
for me, that is helping me as I look at TV news, okay? I will just say that. It's differences allow, when I accept differences, I don't have to agree with the differences. I don't have to even value the differences. This is where we get in trouble, I think, when we start value. If I don't have to value the differences, all I need to do is accept that's what you want, that's what you believe, that's how you act, and it's not affecting me. Allow me to grow up to accept that. Allow me to be a big girl and accept that all of us, all those differences are all just on the human spectrum.
yeah, I mean, and up underneath that paragraph, because it's the last page of this chapter, is whatever they're thinking, whatever other people are thinking, whatever they're doing is a representation of part of our own humanity. Whatever anybody is doing is part of our humanity.
That's
And we
right.
can accept the fullness of that humanity, the wholeness of experiencing both beliefs, not one or the other. And that right there, that's another one just stood out.
Read that and say that again, that last phrase.
We can accept the
Huh.
fullness of that humanity, the wholeness of experiencing both beliefs, not one or the other. And
See?
That's where a lot of issues
If
come in.
every human being on the earth was like that, yeah, what a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful world we would have. That's good. That was accept the differences between people. I love that. That was so good. And it helped me. Again, each of these chapters, I don't know about you all, but each of these chapters made me think. It made me check myself and understand, now what are you doing? And with your righteous new thought self, what you
Oh, 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 you know how them new thought people can get up on a high horse.
Woo! I
Oh
said,
Lord.
Baptists don't
okay,
know what they doing. Methodists
yeah,
is out the box.
honey. Anyway, Miss Versi, you want to jump into chapter 9?
Okay, I'll jump into chapter 9. But
Because that one, I will tell you,
let
yeah,
me
that
take some.
one is
Okay,
good.
go ahead.
Oh, go on. I was just saying that one was good. Chapter 9.
Okay. Let me take something out of chapter 2 real quick.
Oh,
I
good. Yes.
like when she said, regulate your own anxieties. And when she says on page 19, pause, pray, and proceed, or pause,
Yes.
presence, then proceed, or pause, prepare, and then proceed. In other words, she's sticking with the three P's.
Uh-huh.
Whatever words you choose for yourself is these are the three things that you can do before you go all into why somebody else is not doing what you want them to do.
Yep. I love that. That was good. That was good.
And
That was
so,
good. I
okay.
really think we ought to get this push this book some more because I think it has some, so often our books have complicated discussions of this is so simple
That's
and
what I
it's
It
so
liked
truly
about.
real.
is.
I
Yeah.
liked it was short because when people are reading like long chapters or something, your attention wanders, and
Right.
and you wonder what's the point. She gets to the point, and you can either take it or leave it.
Yeah. I
So
can't wait. She's doing the master class for
I'm
everybody who's
really
listening.
interested in seeing her master class.
Yeah, her master class. I think it's August 26th. It's the second day
Oh,
of this one in August, end of
oh,
this
okay.
month. And so, yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that.
Okay.
I'm excited after when I met her. She's very good at working with organizations and helping them move through difficult challenges. So I met her in that as a member of a board. And then I just thought she was really a good lady, knew what she was doing. But then when I started reading this book, I said, she just plain old smart. That's all.
She goes into detail about her. She says she loves learning.
Yes.
She said, I have degrees. She said, I've been ordained several different times. She said, I can't even tell you.
Hmm.
And she's taught people, taught lectures and stuff like that. She said, I've done all of that. But she said, I love learning, period.
Yes.
And she said, when somebody says it's something that you don't know, she said, I love learning. So that means I got to find out.
You gotta
So
find
she
out.
says she
Yep.
never says I don't know, and if she says I don't know, that means that's something that she has to put in her learning category. That I
Yeah.
have to learn that. I'm like,
Okay. Well, we're gonna see
Chapter
her. And she's also gonna come to the conference. She's gonna speak at the
next
conference.
year.
I mean, all I can say is she seems to be simple, but be careful. The woman
Yes.
is deep.
Miss Versie was
Hmm.
telling me when she was
Yeah.
down there with her
That,
at
oh, yep.
Unity Village,
Yeah.
and she said
That's
she's just walking and talking. She said she's like, why am I telling this lady all this?
That's right. That's right, Miss Versa.
Yeah.
You met her. So
She's easy to
you
talk
know.
to. She is
Yeah,
so easy to talk to.
right. She is. She's a lovely, lovely
She's a
woman.
lovely person. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Miss Versie said she just
Okay.
talked. She said
So
they sat on that bench.
channel nine said, refuse to coerce, will, and threaten other people into going along with you.
Uh, 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 uh,
So, and she says, great anxiety is caused by the effort of trying to coerce somebody else to go along with us, to have others believe the way we do, to think the way we do, to understand where we're coming from. And further down it says she says I'm more likely to go along with the group or go along with the majority or simply stay quiet. I'm not prone to coerce, willing, or threaten other people to go along with my way. So I thought it was really interesting that she said if people are not going along your way, you adjust and do what you need to do because you you shouldn't be trying to change their opinion or their belief because that's your belief. So to me that was the main thing I got out of chapter
I
9.
I love the way she phrased it too. She says that's exactly right. She says, "Don't be charming, don't be seducing, don't be
Mm-hmm.
manipulating." Oh,
Right.
I think she was talking to all the women in the world. You need to don't do that. And she says to not do that. If you do that, what you're doing is creating anxiety in yourself. Uh, all of these things that she tells us really not to do are harmful to ourselves. And and so she says, well, at one point she said, "Stop it! Stop it!" You just
Mm-hmm.
said, "Start trying to change others. Stop it! It's a drain on your energy, and it is not going to work anyhow." What about talk about his her nephew?
Her nephew, right, about brushing his teeth.
Uh-huh.
That was so cute.
Yes, she made up all of this about she thought that his teeth would fall out or if he didn't brush his teeth and how the incentive for and giving him rewards if he brushed his teeth and but her fear came from what her she was told as a child. So
Uh-huh.
then
Well,
then she had to realize,
also it came from half her family's teeth had fallen out.
right, right.
It's- but but she asked a question. How can you wake up to your actions if you're manipulating, if you're seducing, if you're trying to charm someone to do something, how do you wake up to that you're doing that, and what is it to stop? What would it be like? And when asking that, Jan, you just said a little while ago, she didn't tell you.
Didn't
She
tell you. You gotta realize what you're doing. You realize what you're doing yourself. I like this chapter as well because it was also there's a slippery slope to me in coercing and willing where you think you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the action of you not doing it. You better watch it because you could be like people that say, "Well, does anybody have any questions?" And you sit there like this. You're actually coercing somebody because you're saying somebody, you got somebody else thinking, well, I wonder why she's not answering any questions. Maybe I'm not explaining it clear enough for her or something. So to me, you have to really be careful of your own actions. It
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just
Exactly.
need to say, no, I don't have a question. Or
Hmm.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just to be like involved or you're not coercing it or threatening them or making them feel like maybe I got to work a little harder to get her attention.
Right.
So
Right.
it was
She says, I wrote it in huge letters under my notes. Stop it.
that's it. Stop it. I
Stop
love
it.
stop
Yeah,
it.
she said, and again, she reminds you why you want to stop it because guess what? It's a drain on your energy. It's a drain on you.
Yeah.
You you messing with your own self. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah.
You
Chapter
know,
and
I was
go
go
on,
ahead.
Quintina.
I was laughing because I just went through that with my husband. I asked him, you know, I've eaten. I know you haven't eaten yet, but when you eat, oh, never mind, I'll do it because to me, he just doesn't load the dishwasher in the
I
right
know,
way.
I know. Ooh.
And I was like, you know what? Do it your way. It doesn't matter. As long as the dishes get clean, that's all that matters. And I left it alone. I'm
Uh-huh.
getting because and he just looked at me and shook his head. I was like, well, you don't, and that's just my opinion, but it's my opinion.
Right, right.
And
Uh,
to understand that, to be able to pull back when you realize that you are doing it.
yeah. Yeah, but also the other flip side, I want to go back to 7, but before I want to finish what verse he started with 10, saying, refuse to be coerced, willed, and threatened by other people. I mean, all of us, I mean, we have a sisterhood,
Mhm.
and we talk and we need each other, but we all need to be mindful of, are you trying to coerce somebody? Or are you being coerced? Because that's not good. And we
Right.
have to, this book, I wish, I hope all the team members read it. Maybe I'll ask Danny to use this for the retreat because it is just I don't want to be coerced.
Right.
And more importantly, I don't want to coerce nobody to do nothing. Now I may beg. But I mean that's a different attitude. That's a different approach, you know. But I wouldn't. It says do not do it, and do not allow anyone else to do it. And I just think that at some point, we may want to get back there and look at that. But I wanted to take us up to, if I know we skipped over, but I wanted to take us up to 7. First, I know you're going to do 11, but 7 was good. The title is Take
Yes.
Responsibility
For
for
your
Your
own.
Own Anger.
Mhm.
Oof.
Um,
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you, my note says, take responsibility for your own discomfort. It allows you to integrate a part of your nature that you can have anger, but understand that's yours. That's your creation. Ain't nobody else can create anger in you. And from that, if you absolutely, as she says it, you honor it, you address it, growth will flow from that. And it will be a model for others. She is saying, it teaches others, if you take on, okay, so Quintina, you do something and I get angry. If I understand you did not cause my anger, I caused my anger, and I have to
Mhm.
confess that. I may come back and talk to you about what you did because I didn't like it. But if I get angry, I must take control of that. And if I don't, again, I love how she says it. When you don't take control of your anger, you are disempowering yourself.
Mm.
I blame someone else for my anger, I am giving up my power. Take your power back and just deal with the anger. Understand emotionally, somewhere, something, you hit a button and you need to go and unfix that button because your anger is your business. Nobody can make anybody else angry. It says, take responsibility for our own anger, our own despair. Mm. And as leaders, how am I going to respond to this? Whatever they are saying, accusing, etc. What it's not mine. That's how part of it. You recognize that's their opinion. That's their thinking. It is not yours. So why get angry? Um, yeah, so not to blame anybody, nobody else for feelings that we are having. Those are ours, our feelings. And as challenging as that is, I think, I mean, just it's such a freeing mode of operation. Yeah.
Yeah, when she asked that question, and it says me on that page there. It said, how can I be responsible for my own anger when she's the matter with it? So it's like, okay, if somebody is doing something and I get angry, they didn't do it like you said, Reverend Jackie. It was me allowing myself to get angry because the
Hmm.
person didn't do it. They were just speaking their thoughts or feelings or whatever.
Yeah, they were doing their thing.
They was doing their thing.
And my getting angry is my thing. So I need to check
Uh-huh.
it. It is, yeah. That's a good one. And it's also, I think, a good one for health
Yeah.
because, this getting angry stuff, this walking around mad,
Oh my God.
that's
Mm,
not good for the body. I'm here
Nope.
to,
no,
Nope.
that's not good for the
that's right.
body.
Nope.
That's
So
not.
yeah, so I had to do that one. I had to jump in there. Versa, you have 11.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, can we start her tea breaks? I thought
Yep,
those were cute.
yep.
Uh,
I love it.
I love her tea breaks. She said, make sensible choices that move you in the direction of your own goals. When you notice the horse is dead, dismount.
Mm.
Whatever
Hmm.
you are riding is dead, dismount.
Yeah. Come
Choose
on.
your actions based on what makes your tail wag. And
I
I,
love that one. I totally love. I thought about my dog, and when my dog is happy, the tail
oh,
is.
that little mojo.
That's
I know that little
it.
mojo.
I tell you. Yep.
Yep, but when it's dead, it's like I've heard that experiment. People say that you can't ride a dead horse, but they don't say dismount because
That's right. That's
get
exactly
off
right.
of it. Just
Yeah.
you
It,
know,
it is that
There we
section
go.
of her work made me as I was writing for this Sunday. There's a section where I say, uh, grieve and keep going.
Mhm.
Something learn and keep going, and that's for me. That's what she's saying. Go on, keep moving. Let it go. Let the other stuff go and keep moving. Okay.
Okay, so chapter 11, keep relationships open. And the first line in that, I was like, oh, wow. So keeping our relationship with other people open starts with avoiding gossiping.
Yeah, baby.
Uh,
Yeah, baby.
that-
Yeah, baby.
that's something she indicated that that's so easy to fall into sometimes because you start talking about somebody who did something you didn't like or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's all about this other person, what they didn't do or did do or whatever, and what you dislike or didn't like, and all of that. You're going through all of that. It's shifting the focus. In other words, she says, shifting the
Yeah,
focus from yourself to the person when it's really she said, what can I actually do something about here?
yeah,
So when you gossiping, the question should be, what can I actually do something about here? Because
yeah,
going on talking about that person is not helping me, is not doing anything to the person because they don't even know. And the person who's I'm talking to is whatever they're getting out of it and whatever it's doing to me. But mostly important is what it's doing to me.
yeah.
mm-hmm,
So it's like stop the gossip.
mm-hmm.
I like that too. I what she said, what she said. I remember what in that chapter. If I'm talking to you, Versi, I need to
Mm-hmm.
be talking about you, or you need to be talking about me. If
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about somebody else, it should be about a half a second because we need to hang up and get a hold of that somebody else if we got something
Right.
else to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, really? Okay, okay." And that's true. And I don't know about you all, but quite frankly, talking about people never made me feel particularly good anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it never does, quite frankly. Versus when you and I talk about Jan, I'll be saying, yeah, I don't want, we shouldn't, no.
No, but you're right. I mean, when you think about it, when you're talking about somebody else, you're actually talking about yourself because the reflection from them is you.
Hmm.
So whatever they're doing, it still has to come from. So you're actually talking about yourself. And then when you put the brakes on, you be like, oh my God,
Yeah. Yeah.
what was a reaction in me that caused somebody me to acknowledge that in somebody else? Then that means I still have to point the three fingers when I'm pointing at them that they point back at me. So
Yep.
what in me started that made that happen for me that I had to acknowledge it because that it still always goes back to check yourself, you know.
Say that again, because what you just said was very true. But say
Yeah,
it again.
you have to check yourself. You have to look because when you're talking about somebody, you're talking about yourself because something in me made me observe it in them. So I'm gossiping about what they're doing. I need to look at myself and see what are you doing
Mm-hmm.
that caused
That
that reaction in you.
Exactly.
that made me think. I know why I had you say it because you know what Reverend Johnny used to say. If you see it, you be it, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you gonna call somebody something, check yourself. What you're just saying, Jan. You know.
Mm-hmm. Check yourself
Mm-hmm.
because when I look at somebody, I'm like, that's silly. And then I think back, well, you remember that time when you did, oh yeah, I was so because other than that, I couldn't identify it in anybody else if I hadn't identified it in myself. I did.
Absolutely.
So I do
Absolutely.
believe that, like I said, her book was it was something, like I said, it was unexpected. And the more I sit with it, and think about what I read, it gets totally what I was not expecting. Because I really was. And I'm like, she talking about presence and potential. But if you're gonna be a leader, there has to be certain things that you have to do. Like you can't go into a meeting and the leader pops off and everybody's you start acting, you be like, what? So that means that you have to sometimes not internalize that
That's right.
or
That's right.
just make an observation for myself and say, well, maybe after the meeting we'll step aside and have a conversation and see, if there's anything I can do, if that's what I want to do, if there's anything I can help or do. I did pick a chapter because I didn't realize I had highlighted some stuff.
Which one? You
Chapter 8,
okay, talk to us. We didn't cover that one.
live by your own goals.
Yeah.
And I guess it stuck in me is because and because in the goal we're going through this transformation and we all had individual goals that we set and now we're getting new goals and new things that are coming forth in us. And I think I have to, for myself, I have to make sure that I'm doing this because I want to continue, or am I doing this to make somebody else happy, or to
Yeah.
because just because I've always been doing it, then should I continue to do it? So I have to me, that's a lot of soul searching within me. And so I have to then again establish what is my goal?
Mm-hmm.
Is my goal to continue and watch the operation grow and
Mm-hmm.
be engaged and productive, or is my goal something else that I want to pursue and it doesn't have anything to do? So, and to me that was important because, and she said, it says the invitation here to is to self-examine. Am I doing something under the pressure of others to be liked, to be okay, to be accepted, to be understood? Or am I living in accordance with the goals of my own life?
Dan, I was just about that's what I had written that down. I had written that down. Go on.
And it says, find ways of how you're not doing this. It's not a question of, are you doing this? Yes, there are things I'm doing that I don't really care a lick about. There are things I'm doing that I'm doing under pressure because it's always been done that way. But she says, when we awaken to those, determine where those are, and then it's possible for us to say, I can come back then when that's more interesting to me, or being in alignment to make sure, because one person not in alignment, it kind of, somebody's looking and making, and they're not reading the book, and they're making a judgment
Yeah.
about, might be making a judgment about, well, she don't look like she's happy all the time, or she looks like puzzled about this.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, somebody saying, well, you know what, let me look at my own vision and my own goals and make sure that this is meshing with what's going on in with what's going on now. And the
Mm-hmm.
last thing she said, I will not try to manage the expectation of others, but instead make choices that are more in integrity with the goals of my own life. So that was
Mm-hmm.
meaning I have to make sure that the goals of my life are in integrity with what is going on now. And it's a lot. Yeah, I mean, we're processing, we're taking in the last couple of months, we're taking in a lot, updating pages and putting things out there. So is that in alignment with the goals that I have set for myself?
Mm-hmm.
And if it isn't, then I need to look maybe at my goals and what I want to accomplish, and sometimes make it congruent with what the goals are to keep the process moving forward. Is it, I want it to match,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think people have to, and again,
And what you're just saying for me is let's just be open and honest and air it out. And
yes,
that's but also this is the chapter where it says choose your activity that makes your tail wag.
yeah, and make it fun. Is this fun? Is this,
Yeah.
something that's going to be exciting for me? And but you don't know that until you sit down and do a self-evaluation of yourself.
Yeah.
What are your goals? Have you actually said, and you read all these books about goals, setting goals and goals and blah blah, but you do have a goal. When I get up in the morning, I try to say, Father, what is it that you want me to do or to be involved in? And I know I get a sign on what I need to do. Now, whether I do it,
Yeah. I agree that we have goals. For me, my goals, I've just always been with goals. And if I don't love my goals, I will quickly do them and proceed away
mhm,
from my, but my hope, my my lesson, what I'd like to pass on to everybody, have a goal that you love, because that makes life.
yeah,
I'm joyous. I'm working. David says, "Girl, you've been in that office 12 hours." Yeah, and it's coming up. It's coming together. And he's oh Lord. Okay, goodbye. But it that having goals, that is really this book.
mhm,
I'm telling you all, we really might try to think to have Danny use this book as a part of the retreat. I just really anyway. I was going to jump into chapter 12.
Oh yeah.
That changed my position from victimization
ooh,
to what can I do? And that is, again, all of these things are just making you feel better, and your body and your mind and your emotions. And she says, say no to feeling victimized by anything. And she used an example of a diagnosis, which I thought was so
Hmm.
good. She
mhm,
Yeah.
said, what you do? I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I just checked out. I checked around what it is, what can I do, how can I effectively respond. And she then changed from victim thinking and shifted into empower thinking,
Hmm.
doing what would be most effective for her life at that point. And I think so often we are hit, even for us new thought women, we're hit with something, and we walk around feeling like a victim massively, as opposed to, like she said, stop, be intentional. I'm going to look around. She said, see what it is, see what I can do about it, and effectively respond.
mhm.
Hmm.
Change from victim thinking, shift into empowering thinking. Empowering thinking. That is it. Um, I
Because
don't
I
know.
like what she said at the bottom of 71. It's a regardless of what happened or who's hurt or what the circumstances are, it's empowering to back up and look at what can be done from this point forward. So don't look back, look forward and see
That's
what
right.
can I do going forward with whatever the situation is.
That I love that. I really, to me, that's true empowerment. That's what it's about.
That's
Yeah.
why I play the Temptations. Don't look back.
Ah!
I when I get that, and sometimes I get that in the morning. If it's look, don't look back.
That's right. And we got that in the Bible. We was told, don't be looking back.
But
You'll
look, you saw
one
that
thing to
lot.
come.
Got the boo got wife got jacked up.
There you go. That's
Yeah, yes, you
exactly
did.
right.
Couldn't give it up.
No, I'm going. We got this is oh, it's 4:48, but I do want to do oh wow, that's oh, I got 13, but I also got 21 and 23 that were real good. So just real quickly, 13, getting a broader perspective, seeing things. And 13, the title is Gain Space and Time and a Broader Perspective About Anything.
That was
And
cool.
again, all of these things are such really common sense that are empowering. If you're in the midst of something, go to a higher ground and view, because seeing it from a higher ground may give you a totally different perspective. And you'll be able to understand what's going on better. Or as she says, stepping back.
Hmm.
Avoid being jerkish. You know what jerkish is. Like acting a fool because something happened. It's very freeing. It's very freeing when you get a broader perspective. And what was it? I had another note, but I can't read what I wrote. But it's just getting a broader perspective. If something occurs, stop. And it's almost again pause. step back, step up, and please don't just start calling everybody so you can all whine together. Okay. That's when you what the Elisha said. That's when you go in, shut the door, and you and the Christ talk about it. Okay.
All right.
Um, that is it. Um, chapter 14, real quick, and then I'm gonna go to 21 and 23. Um, chapter 14, contain your own
Ooh,
reaction. What?
ooh.
What?
That was yeah, Reverend Check. Yeah. As I was going through the book, I said, Lord, and what I have did find about her things are they say you learn from repeating,
Yes, yes,
and everything she said is she's building on it and then
yes,
repeating it and rephrasing it.
yes,
And that's
yes,
what I got from this.
yes.
I'm like,
And it's contain your own reactivity. In other words, when someone yells, guess what? You don't have to yell back. I love it.
Right.
I love it. Reacting, listen deeply instead of just being responding.
Mm-hmm.
Less reactivity. When someone gets angry, guess what? You don't have to get angry. You
Mm-mm.
really, really don't. And it's just the more you think about it, the more clearly it becomes your power that allows you to react that's going to be effective for you, as opposed to giving up your power and just responding or reacting in a foolish way. I thought that was a great chapter too.
Yeah.
We're gonna close out on one more chapter. This is it because it is time. I want to say a couple things about the mastermind class. Chapter 21 and chapter 23. Chapter 21 is hang in there. What was there? Uh this is bad, but that's kind of like, I don't know, maybe not. It was the goal thing. Um if we have a spirit, she says we have a spirit to overcome. I can tell myself I'm equipped for this. We can take a position of resilience, and we can figure out how to do something. That's again the repetition, how to tap into something greater, uncommon motivation to see it through. So we have the wherewithal. It's called God, quite frankly, but she didn't
Mm-hmm.
use God, and that's great. We have the wherewithal to hang in there. We do not have to let anything take us out. And um, we don't have to subject ourselves to it. Rather, we look and see what it is for us to do to learn from it and move forward. Chapter 23 is have a clear vision, which I think is so important. And that to me goes back, Jan, to goals.
mhm.
Uh, be willing for clarity, forgetting what may be foggy with you. Work with yourself to have a clear vision. Um, and the clear vision will come, she says, when you can answer yes to, will I be proud? Will I be happy? Um, or she said, it may be when you understand, I need to pause for a minute. I need
Mm-hmm.
to back up. I need to pause. Or it may be, I love this, you recognize, oh, I don't have all the answers, but I don't need all the answers. I just need to be flexible. You know,
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. I tell you,
She took one
everyone,
page for that.
pardon me.
One page.
Yes, I know, I know.
One page.
Everyone who is listening to the ShoVal and More Book Club gathering, here is the book Presence and Potential by Martha Creek. You want to read it? You want to join us? I want to mention that we will be having our master class in August 24th, 25th, and 26th from 5 to 6 p.m. Central Time. And Martha Creek will be speaking on August 25th from 5 to 6 p.m. Central Time. The title of her message is Presence and Potential. Experience your higher self and live in wholeness. And I will open it up. And it will be, are you out of sync? Are you out of sync with your powers, with your goals, with your desires? all looking at what Louise Hay has taught us. So that's how we're going to kick it off on August 24th. And our friend, Reverend Sandra, is going to join us on August 26th. Same theory is all about living. I forget the exact title, but it's living to your higher self. And how can we do it? Uh, if you haven't, for those of you who are hearing, when you hear this on YouTube, you might want to think about joining the Gold Circle community. A lot of good things going on in there, and just check it out. Go to our website, and you can join there. We have Wednesday. Miss Jan and I, we take turns praying to our God, and we invite you to join us on Wednesday at 10 o'clock, 10 to 10:15 on Facebook page. Is that right, Jan?
Right on our Facebook page, goldrushwomen'sconference.com,
That's
10
right.
a.m. on Wednesday.
Oh, 10 just for 15 minutes. And you can go back, by the way. It is there. I think you can go and check it out if you need prayer other than that 15 minutes. Wow. I want to thank all of us for talking about this wonderfulness. Pam is there. I don't know if she heard it all or what's going on, but we know all is well. Quintina, uh, Miss Versi. Oh, she
Oh,
said
she
hi.
raised her hand.
Say
She
hi.
raised her
There you
hand.
go.
Hey,
I love it.
Pam.
Hey,
Hi,
Pam.
Pam.
Hey,
Hey.
and Jan was dropping her wisdom. So I this has been a good opportunity for us to share the wisdom that Martha Creek shares in her book. And I do want to mention I have about, maybe 7 or 8 books. So if anyone watches this discussion and would like to get a book, we will send it to you free. And you need to send info at goldrushwomansconference.com. Leave your name, address, etc., and tell us you want one of these books. Because Martha had given us enough of them for the conference. We had a few left over. And I think we're gonna use this for our retreat, y'all. Come on, everybody, let's vote on it right now. Well, how many
Yes,
think
I
we
say
should use
yes.
it for our
I
retreat?
say,
Yeah.
look, I'm looking at her last page comment down here. She says, being a master of the art of right questioning, Martha is able to facilitate the most stubborn, self defeating, and embedded patterns in a person's experience.
Okay then.
She invites
Okay.
people into a new reality, a new way of thinking. Martha's
So
mission and vision is concise and clear: go within or go without.
I love it. So we know she's going to be with us again on August 25th from 5
25th.
to
Uh-huh.
6 Central Time for the master class. I'm excited. She's going to be with us in the conference in April. So that's going to be exciting. And don't you all miss it. You all, those of you who are hearing this, join us at the master class and register for the Gold Rush Women's Conference. Take a deep breath. Mm.
Thank you, God.
Oh, and let me make this one point. Reverend Jackie,
Oh,
Reverend Dr. Jacqueline Trish Atkins was phenomenal this
oh,
morning. If you want to know about prosperity in your home, you need to go to YouTube. You need to go to faith. You need to go wherever you need to go for
God.
Christ Universal Temple and get that message. You think you know what prosperity in your home is? Get the message. That's
Uh,
all. And that's my
Thank you,
prayer.
Jan. It was God blessed us all. We
Oh
had
my
a
God, it
great
was
time.
phenomenal.
We had a great time, but I thought you were going to say, "Come on, join us at Empowerment Center for Better Living on
Oh
this
yeah, well, I'm wearing double hats.
Tuesday." We
And
are.
when I'm with my Gold Rush sisters,
There
I'm
you go.
promoting Gold Rush. Now, if you all want to come to the Empowerment Center for Better Living, we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays for a Bible study, metaphysical Bible study, 6:45.
And I'm doing a lesson in
She's doing
to
the
And
lesson
Reverend
this Tuesday.
Jackie,
This
I'm sorry,
Tuesday.
Reverend Dr. Jacqueline Trish Atkins, get it right, is doing the lesson
the
on
cost
Bible
of
study on
compromise.
Tuesday, 6:45 to 7:45. We're located at 2907 South Michigan. Quintina, join us on Facebook or YouTube. Please.
Amen.
You are
Amen.
invited. But Reverend Jackie
Okay.
is doing the message, and
Awesome.
we're talking
Awesome.
about
Awesome.
abundance, and you need to be there. That's now. I'm not saying anything else about announcements and the phenomenal Reverend Dr. Jacqueline Trishak.
Yes.
This golden love that we share is so awesome. So I just want to just lift all this up and say thank you, God.
Thank you,
Thank
God.
you, God.
And
Thank you.
that's it.
That's
See
it.
y'all the next time. Enjoy
Mhm.
Sunday evening.